Hi, everyone. Welcome to the third edition of CXO Tech Summit and Awards 2022. Myself, Mitali Sharma, and today I have a lot of good eminent panelists with me, and we're going to talk about the new threat landscape, anticipating and participating for risk, the mitigation and preparation for risk. With me in the panel, I have some very eminent speakers, and I would start naming them. Ambarish Singh, CISO, Godrej and Boyce; Yogesh Kumar, Head IT and CISO, Tata Advanced Systems; Ashok Tiwari, Group Head IT, Sequent Scientific; Subhash, Punjabi, CISO, Deepak, Fertilizers and Petrochemicals; Srinivasa Rao, Group CIO, Telangana State Cooperative Banks. So I welcome you all to the panel. And without wasting any further time, I'm going to talk more about the discussion, about the panel, what we're going to talk about. There are two words which we have heard so much: Web 3.0, Metaverse. Everywhere we are seeing this. People are moving and redefining their traditional businesses. Enterprises are moving rapidly towards Web 3.0, Metaverse. And what it means is that while moving to this at a very fast pace, there are very much security risks. There are a lot of security threats. There are threat landscape that has changed. There are challenges in this frontier. We see that there is a lot of future risk that is there. And today, in this session, we are going to explore this digital vulnerability, and we are going to look at the power of collaboration in order to strengthen cyber resilience. So with that in mind, I will start. Maybe Yogesh, with you I'll start. And my first question to you would be, like I said, these terms in the market, Web 3.0, Metaverse, all of these. So as a practitioner, how would you differentiate between Metaverse, Web 3.0 when it comes to a practitioner's view? How would you differentiate between them? Yogesh.
Yeah, hi Mitali. So these Web3 and Metaverse terms are being used as a new buzzwords in the technology world, right? And when we say about these words, these technologies are still in nascent stage. It has not properly evolved, and the final shape has not been arrived at. So still, Gartner has predicted that by 2026, 25% of the people will be spending at least 1 hour a day for the work, shopping, education, social media, and entertainment in the metaverse world. So similarly, there are Web3 discussions going on. So when we look at it from the end user or the practitioner point of view, so they always have a little demarcation between these two. So let me clarify. So if we look at it at deeply, and we need to understand, then Web3 is from the perspective of the decentralization perspective. So decentralized means earlier on Web 2 we were having the every content to be centralized on one server and then streamed across. In this Web 3 world, we will have a decentralized manner, and blockchain technology is going to protect it. So we will use the blockchain technology, and with that, content privacy will be the main agenda. So for example, whatever content we have in Web 2, if somebody has put another content top of it, then we are not able to identify which is the particular owner for the main content. Okay, so in case of Web 3, the small chunks of the data can be owned by one person. Overall, it can be owned by somebody. Still, we have a demarcation on the ownership. So it's a more or less democratized way of web surfing or internet owning. While in case of Metaverse, we are going into the 3D world. It doesn't talk about the ownership, it talks about the avatars. So everybody now it's a race that everybody wants to live forever. So they they want to create one avatar and which will be there for the lifetime, and whether we are there or not, so avatar will be there, it will be shopping, it will be going here and there. So you never know. So we had created exactly our version there, and even if the person is not there, the image can travel, and metaverse, that image can travel, 3D image can travel. So it's basically connecting the and transforming basically physical to virtual, augmented physical reality. So we are transforming one. Let's say I'm not there right now. We are working on Zoom. So in later point of time, we would be standing and we would be gathering in a place where our images actually traveled there, and you would be talking to me for face to face in a 3D world rather than 2D world. So that will be more interactive. So human interface and touching means it will be like a very thin layer between the physical and virtual. If I want to touch virtual world, I would be able to do it. So likewise, that one has been done. But if we talk about those things, then as still the technologies are in evaluation phase, or it has not come to the final shape, so robustness of these technologies is not arrived at, and what will be the final outcome till that time? What should be the regulations? More or less, regulations will be the main agenda, because right now we don't know who will be owning what, and what way it will be regulated. It should not go into a different game altogether. Security, cyber security, we'll all talk about. So cyber security is another challenge in this world. So it's a virtual world altogether, right? So from the practitioner perspective, we look at it at, okay, who owns it, from the Web3 technology, and from the metaverse, it's a 3D virtual world in a single world.
Great. I think very interesting point there, Yogesh. You talked about the avatars and the metaverse and the cybersecurity aspect, and yes, interestingly about the regulations that are required. We spoke about metaverse, we spoke about Web 3.0. So that brings me to my another question to Ambarish. I'll start with you. And my question to you would be that Web 3.0 is mainly built on 3 layers of technological innovation. We talk about decentralized data networks, we talk about edge computing and artificial intelligence. Now, how would this combination transform the entire security landscape when it comes to business?
Yeah, so I think Yogesh put a lot of things in perspective. We talked about avatar, and then we talked about 3.0. Right now, we are into the 2006 onwards until now, we are into Web 2.0. Okay, and 2.0 has been predominantly led by mobile, telecom, cloud, etc. Okay, now they want to take it further. So the current problems are not yet solved from cybersecurity perspective, right? Right now we are talking about hybrid environment, work from anywhere, cloud, home, organization. Now it has come Web 3.0, where the data network is decentralized. There is no permission. Anyone can join because they have their own cryptographic permission, etc. Then there is a virtual reality, augmented reality, talking about blockchain technology, etc. So everything going to be decentralized. Okay, and there is a people in the academic world. If we talk about 3.0, people are talking about business is, there is an advantage to the business. How they are looking at from technology perspective is application will be developed which can run on any platform. Okay, so the cost is less, scalability is high, data is spread all across. So hackers, if they want to get our entire data, they will not be able to get, because blockchain will protect that. Okay, there is no boundary, physical boundary, so control of the government or countries will be less. They feel that because that way. And as you rightly said, Web 3.0 and Metaverse going to converse and leverage each other. So they're going to be complex scenario. Second one is, this is unknown, right? Right now, it is just academic purpose, something in cooking in the lab, right? We're not seeing the light of the day. So the way the technology will mature, implementation will start, we will start realizing it, threat landscape will start coming up, we start visualizing what are the threat and risk could prop up, okay? But taking a wild guess, what we're discussing today, if we talk about 3.0, industry 4.0, we talk about metaverse, another buzzword is zero trust, okay? So if you focus on the zero trust, which is the core of, it is going to be there in that world also, correct? Whatever we do today, if our philosophy, the technical solution processes which are building, it is built on the zero trust methodology, it is going to hold true there also. That is how you will build your cyber resilience, okay? And we need to focus on the defense in depth, security by design, etc. That is going to make your resilience better, and you are better prepared for embracing those technologies. This is not going to happen overnight. It is going to take time. As Yogesh was also talking about 10 years or so, it is a best case scenario, okay? But crux of the matter is, the more it unfolds, we'll realize further, various use cases will start popping up, and that is how the entire threat landscape risk will start popping up, and we'll start realizing what to do next. But the wild guess is, look at the zero trust as a going forward. These are my initial thoughts. I look forward to other panelists for the great thoughts.
No,
Thank you.
I would agree with what you have said, security by design, and having, again, to Yogesh's point, having those regulations in place. Ashok, what is your thought on the same?
Yeah, so basically the technology is new, and people are exploring it. And as Ambarish and Yogesh mentioned, that the decentralized data is there, structure is decentralized, and it is basically stable with the Web3 technologies. And the advantage is it allows people to connect with each other directly. So there is no requirement of middlemen. The people can connect with the different agencies and companies. Innovators can connect to the agencies where they can send their ideas, they can discuss their ideas. So this is Web 3.0, where there are some advantages available, and it also allows to connect direct channels and communicator learning and e-learning systems. And the governance is also there, as it is having the blockchain, so that is also there. Okay, so coming to the usage, definitely the devices which will be in use, I believe those should be robust, and the data would flow in the 5G because the application, the platform is very heavy. So the processor, because this is centralized, decentralized, and the edge computing is also involved. So the processing would be based on the geographical, based on the devices. So that kind of the advancement and that kind of the advantage would come there. But definitely a platform would be a bit stronger side. So this is something which I want to add here.
Thanks, Ashok, for those great insights. And with that, I would move on to you, Subhash, with my next question. And, we have been talking about Web 3.0, and my next question is also related to 3.0. And my question would be that, with this Web 3.0 and, with the organizations and things moving towards Web 3.0, what are the security implications, challenges that you see while the organizations are moving towards this Web 3.0?
So, hi everyone, and I've heard two various eminent panelists here. First thing, move on to the reply to your question. Security, when we talk or anything, whatsoever we have, it's a technology enhancement, and it is must. Now, if you just see or talk about the various things, like maybe in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, there is no computerization. So we say there is no risk. What is not risk? We are saying that risk is not there of your information. But then there are some manual things that then that risk was different. So when we are saying risk will be there, it will just change its maybe the form. Another point is there, technology has to grow. Otherwise, we can't sustain. The thing is required, the way growth is happening, technology has to grow. That is just a statement I've seen. But now if we talk about what is the security threats in the Web 3.0, for that, various people have already told about what is Web 3.0, 1.0, 2.0, and then 3.0. What are this thing? But only I will talk about the 2-3 things what differs from 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. We are saying that 1.0 is totally safe. No, there where it is. 2.0, there where it is. Okay. So when something new comes, there will be a discussion, and there has to be discussion so that we can protect each other. So Web 1.0, the basic difference, that 3 points are, when 1.0 was totally static website content, 2.0 gone as a dynamic, so that we can use for because why it has gone, it was need of the hour. What we say, when it is static, there was no mobiles as such, correct? We have seen that era also. And then when mobile came, your tablet came, and various other things has came, dynamic content, user inputs, everything was there, that forms and all that things are required. So it has came. Similarly, now when we are talking about 3.0, it is a semantic content. What is that? Is that we are talking about AI ML since from last 3 to 4 years, or maybe 4 to 5 years max. Now this particular thing has to be built in each and every application. That is the need. That is the need. Then only we can perform, or any business can perform. Correct. So now this is made as a semantic content, which is enablement and benefited from AI. Another thing, this is the one point. The other is the information delivery. In 1.0, it has the information delivery, just information which you are passing on. But then 2.0 gone as your social networks. So we can relate very well that before, nobody knows, before 2000, your Facebook, LinkedIn, that was not in that existence. Not that much. It is there, but it's not that much. Nowadays, LinkedIn, Facebook is everyone, every mobile, smartphone, laptop, everybody has got that. Correct. And it is also impacting a business. Now, various business, they are also looking after how they can do the digital marketing, what we say, digital advertisement, what we are saying. Correct? So it is a critical part of any business, right? And now we are talking that this is a metaverse word, that is your Web 3.0. So even if we are saying metaverse is something buzzword or it is new, I agree to all the panelists, this is very new technology. But everything whatsoever it will be new for some time. And technocrats like us, our job is to see what is happening, what is coming up, so that we can help our organization, our we can say all our country and all that things. How we can help in our own area, that is information technology. Correct. So it has gone in the metaverse one. Earlier, it was again the third point. Everybody has said is centralized infrastructure. Then in the Web 2.0, we said that it has gone with the cloud utilities. So it has enhances it to the various cloud utilities because cloud has came. And now we are saying decentralized edge computing, which is peer-to-peer, which is again is a need which has came. So if 3.0, if we say it is a requirement and it has came with a proper objective. And also when we say the transition between 1.0 to 2.0 to 3.0, it has taken at least 8 to 10 years to get democratized. Correct. For all the users they will use. It will also take some time, definitely. And also, one of the friend has already explained that once it go ahead, it will get mature. Now, when we talk about the security, so I'm coming on to that for your security, what you have asked. Issue is here that the bad guys are more intelligent than us. Reason, what is the reason? Reason mainly is that we are doing multiple things, not only security. In India, even if we are saying somebody is looking after CISO, but they have got different areas. Mainly in the manufacturing segment, you see, there is no person who is looking only on security in India doing only that thing. But the bad guys, their bread and butter is this only, to hack the things and get money. So they have got. So what they are doing is that whenever we are talking something, they are checking, getting the how they can get some thing or maybe the vulnerability from that to we can say hack the thing, correct, and make money. That is the main thing. So now, if we talk about this Web3, there are near about 2-3 security constraints, major constraints. When we say this is your decentralized, this is a metaverse and all that things, which is capable of all these things. So when it comes, all the after with all these plus point, there are something minus point, and it is also a nature. Everything which has got something good, it will come with something bad, which we have to control. And it is also natural. So I don't think that we have to think over why it has happened. So that is the major thing. Now in cyber security, if we talk, what is the major point of this cyber security is, when we talk, this is your decentralized. So we say decentralized is more secured. We are talking about a blockchain. Yes, it is secured, but it is also prone that your bad guys can get that. But they have got multiple things now to hack. Somewhere they can hack. When we say that it is your decentralized, so that it reduces the single point of attack. Correct. But then they have the potential to expose data from different areas, because it is decentralized, so various people are there. These are not traditional threats as well as tactics unique to blockchain. So we all know in blockchain we are talking about the ice fishing. So this comes into picture immediately now, because in this what will happen is that they don't know each other. It is totally a, we can say, the smart thing, correct? Like smart contract thing, we can say. So now also we have, you might have read also in this particular blockchain, they have hacked something on smart contract logic. They have hacked. It has happened. So this new threat target that logic encoded in the blockchain services. So it may come from that. And another main point, what we emphasize is that being a distributed network here, maybe this is my thought, and as everybody says, this is new thing. So whatever I'm saying today, it may be taken care by, or it may have taken care by, but I am maybe not aware. Is suppose it is decentralized, when we are say some contracts are there, so it is a different area. When there is some legal binding or legal thing, so we don't have a exact thing where we have to go and take. Definitely some law will come for that and it will taken care. But as of now, it is open. Then we are talking about the cryptojacking. We all aware about cryptojacking. So once it is there, it will be more open to hack using the cryptojacking where the actors will install crypto mining, and it may happen into it. Correct. That is a one threat. What we can say, see to it. And as I already mentioned, that difficulty in policing in the cyber criminals because it is a distributed. So that are the some of the thoughts we can say which we need to see. Also, identity is also, I think, maybe a problem, because when we are saying various things we are keeping there, so transparent nature of public blockchain, what we are talking, which is a positive thing, correct? Which maybe, because where we say build trust without an intermediary, there is no intermediary in that. But it also comes with security and privacy threats. So that are the some of the things what I feel that we have to work on it. And as somebody has already said, that is very, very clear that we have to, everybody has to embrace the zero trust technology. And that is must. So when we say maybe we are talking about zero trust since from last 2 years. So that was at that time it may be optional, but if you are going forward, that all things will be your maybe the mandatory things. Like in the erstwhile, we say the perimeter firewall is the must for everyone. It is not an option. It is not anything new what we have done. Similarly, zero trust will be an embedded thing for everything. Maybe after 2-3 years time of thing. Thank you.
Thanks, Subhash. I think that was quite insightful, and you touched upon very important points like the risk assessment. That the risks are here to stay. So we just accept those risks, but the risks never go. It's mainly like their likelihood or impact may change, but they are there, and we need to have the mitigation plans in place to ensure that we have a secure environment, a cyber resilient environment, and yes, zero trust, blockchain, all of these technologies would definitely be there, and the risks related to that will also be there. So I would move on now to you, Srinivasa, and my question to you would be related to Metaverse, because we spoke about Web 3.0. Let's now move on to the next part, which is Metaverse. And we know that Metaverse is something which is sitting at the intersection of web, augmented reality, blockchain. So again, as a security professional, as a CIO, how would you see this metaverse changing the way we interact with the digital world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Metaverse is going to change the complete picture of these our digital interactions. The reason being, nowadays the current interactions in the digital environment is to text the conversations and video chattings. Unfortunately, video chatting is not something you can do with many people at the same time. It is also not available on most of the social media networks, limiting its potential for growth as the modern way of interactions on the internet. So how it is going to change is that we can take some examples. Now when we are playing the video games, maybe one or two people can play the game. So going forward, social video games are coming where many people can come together to fight against each other in every match. They can have fun and play with their friends or meet new people and interact in a virtual world. So Metaverse is also going to change how we can deliver the best designs possible when creating video games. It will usher in the new era of creativity of video game designers. Then one more example here is that digital advertisement. Digital advertising will change to the maximum, I can say. Now we have a new world where people can interact. It will attract a new type of advertisers. So potential customers who are viewing these advertisements will have to interact with advertisements in augmented reality, which will change how they respond to the ads. It will make it more challenging to produce the advertisements as they will require a lot of 3D designing skills. Then coming to the social media also nowadays, social media mostly the apps they are downloading on the mobile phones, and also it is with the static profile pages and photographs. So going forward, this metaverse will change the way we look at social media. The main things it will enable us to do the things in a completely digitized world. For example, we can create a 3D avatar and explore the network with other people. So these kind of changes are going to come, and it will have a it will give a lot of opportunities for the technology and for the designers to design these avatars and also these AR VR mixed virtual worlds. So a lot of games also have come, Pokemon Go and other games have come recently, which have the metaverse embedded in that, where the avatars are going to the real places and viewing all those things. So here, this is going to create a lot of opportunity for the people and also a lot of risks also. As a security analyst, certainly we will be concerned about the risks also. So this is my take on the initial remarks.
Right, Srinivas, you brought in excellent pointers there, and definitely, these avatars and a lot of games on social media nowadays, they are being promoted, and people are having apps where they can customize their avatars. I mean, you look at Facebook, you look at any of those social media accounts where you can customize it. You can even link it to your other accounts, and you can, start using them in your games and everywhere. So with that, we spoke about metaverse, and Srinivas left at a point saying that there would be risks that would be there when it comes to using metaverse, and when we are using this landscape. So I'll move on to you, Ashok, and then I'll ask Subhash also for the same view. What is your security outlook for metaverse?
Basically, this metaverse is 3D world and very immersive. And for medical, as I am from scientific and medical company, pharma company, so I would say that it is helpful for the purpose of the surgery practices and training point of view. We can use this to the teach to the people and the students who are outside or somewhere. And as animal pharmaceutical, we can also show something to the farmers who are outside of the means cities, and we can realize them that this is the way you can treat the cattle, animals, and other stuff. So, in term of usage of this technology to the medical science is really good. The only thing is, as this is having multiple games, 3D and digital stuff available. So, in terms of the security, as AR and VR is available into that, so might be for the new kids, for the kids who are using this technology. So, biometrical data can be go to the toss, and the psychological and emotional responses, the eye tracking and all that can be taken by the companies, and they can use that. So that is something which we have to prevent. So this is really something which is sensitive data can go out, which belongs to the family member, the new kids who are using it. Uh, and it is a bit uncontrolled as of now, but going forward there would be the ways, as Subhash mentioning, that the new technology comes, then um, pros and cons are always there. So if the new things will come, the new ideas will come to protect those. uh, I think this is something which I would like to add here for the metaverse.
Yeah. So, Subhash, you want to add something?
Yeah. So again, they're saying that what is the metaverse? So metaverse, we can just describe it's a digital connected universe that allows user to travel virtually wherever they want to do, correct? As a digital avatar, what you say. So just for this, I'm saying metaverse. Now we are talking maybe since from a year or so, but everybody, majority of the people might have seen movie Ravan. So you have seen that actually that is a metaverse. That and various things are there since long in some way. Name may come afterward. Correct. So now when we say metaverse, that might have evolved, that might have what I'm giving reference of Ravan, in that it may be a some sort, not totally, correct. But it is a metaverse. We can say that example we can give to your kids. If you want to explain someone, give what is metaverse, we can definitely explain them like this. So that is also metaverse. And nowadays we see in various movies, various technologies are getting used. When we say graphics and all this, majority of the movies they are using various technologies. And these people that you are Bollywood, Tollywood, or we say South movie, everything, when we are saying how that action movies are there. So majority of things they are using such new technologies there. Okay. Now coming down to what are these things? So these cyber security concerns for metaverse are quite challenging. Even if we say it's a both sides, it's very challenging. At the same time, there are tremendous opportunities and use cases for this, as already Ashok has mentioned. And there are tremendous, and in each business it will be there. He has mentioned about medical, but we can talk in any business, it will definitely getting used where it can give you the benefit to it. So already I have mentioned in earlier, there are always pros and cons. So what we have to see or how we have to work on that, what are the type of things, what we are seeing. So first thing we should be aware about the unique architecture on which this metaverse is built. For example, digital currencies, when we say what are the, how they are taking the digital currency and non-fungible tokens, NFTs, what we are saying, are extensively used in metaverse. And hackers might find out the way that NFTs may go somewhere else because it is totally dependent on that. Now we say that various our mobile and SIMs are getting hacked, which is very, very simple. Now people are talking about the major thing, what is going on, the demat accounts are getting hacked now. So various people might have heard how it is going on. This is now only last 15 days or 1 month we are seeing that various demat accounts are hacking. And also they are getting that money on, they are changing our stocks. So whosoever in majority people are on stocks, so they maybe relate to it, how they're changing these stocks, penny stock are coming, your good stocks are going out, and various things are happening. Correct. And the big scams are already in the place now. Already it is going on. Similarly, when we say NFTs, that is the big threat to it because everything will work on that. So that thing we have to be, everybody has to be very much clear about, very much we can say cautious about these things. Another concern in Metaverse is preservation of virtual identity. When we are saying that identity is coming, and if people are saying, as already in the opening statement, one of my friends already told that now we are talking virtually here, and then we can be virtually placed at some physical conferences also. But at that time, they may think that I am not aware I am somewhere, and it has made hack. I am not aware I am somewhere, and somebody's the various people, hundreds of people are seeing me there, and I am talking on something. Correct. So that thing, how to do, is again a big thing. How to cover all these things, what we have to do. That as of now, I don't have answer for that. But as we are saying that there are whatsoever we know as a thumb rule that we have to take care. But we talk about again the ZTNA, SASE, and all that things. The new security, our preservations are there that we have to take care. Correct. That are the main thing. And also, I foresee about the intellectual property for this IP rights, because if it is a virtual, how all these things will happen? Because nowadays, what we are very much clear about, when something is there, we are saying it's intellectual, I am keeping, and we are resourcing at various places. Then there are the securities. But when it is totally virtual, how it will be done? How that? Because if I have given something and somebody is virtually signing that. So with some of the NFTs or tokens, with the again the distributed network. So these are some of the things what we think that we have to think over about it. And another thing, as we say about this ZTN, similarly for security, we should use it AI and ML for this. And again, the other thing is your user behavior, UEBA, what we talk. So these are the things which everybody has to embrace and see to it how what is happening. So when you know the pattern, you can see that yes, something is fishy is happening, and somebody can check. So that for this all security, I can say these are the 2-3 things which we have to embrace so that we will be ready for this particular new tech. Thank you.
Absolutely, Subhash. And I would say definitely, behavioral analytics is one thing which definitely is something which can help us stay resilient, and it can help us mitigate those risks and at least identify those risks and plan our defenses accordingly. So with this, we spoke about risks, and Subhash touched upon some of the mitigating plans or some of the things that we should do to protect ourselves and mitigate those risks. I'll move on to you, Yogesh, and followed by Srinivasa on how do you feel that, as security professionals, as practitioners, how are we addressing the security risks and protecting ourselves as we move towards Web 3.0 and Metaverse? And we know that this is going to happen, this is inevitable. So how do we protect ourselves? What are the ways how we can address those risks?
Sure, Mitali. So as I discussed this Web3 or Metaverse, these are the nascent technologies as of now. So final shape has not come arrived at. So we don't know what are these complete risks that are going forward. So still at whatever stage we are, so we can look at it, which other CISOs have also said, that primarily there is a risk of identity. So identity need to be protected. And then in case identity is there, as the things are going to be decentralized in case of Metaverse or in case of Web3. So those things should be protected. Everybody will have their own content protected in their own way. So we have to have our strong password policy for all of us. Then multi-factor, so that we are aware that nobody else is accessing the content. Then as nowadays also it's going on zero trust. So zero trust means we are not trusting anybody as by default. So that the same thing is applicable, and we can fine tune, because zero trust is not a solution, it's a concept. So we have to go with zero trust. What will be the final shape of zero trust architecture? That will again depend on the final shape of these technologies. But it is a must technology that one should have. Then segregation of our own IPs, companies' IPs, which are most confidential, which are less confidential, means classification, data, at least we should have a data discovery. What is all there with us and how we are going to prevent. So before deciding in how we are going to prevent, we should know the categories of those things. Means the things which are more versatile, more let's say more security to be placed at. They are more confidential for that company, or an oxygen for the organization to run. So then there must be more locks onto that, more security measures can be taken, more deep security measures can be taken. Similarly to the all layers, because we can't spend a whole lot of money onto the security, right? So classification is a critical things that a organization should do. Then we must have our internet gateways to be secured. So right now we are all operating from home. So we know how much security we have at our home. So there must be a thing through which we should protect either zero trust technology or the other technologies in place. VPN is in place. So then strong regulations, I told you about all that, that strong regulations must be there. So we don't know what are the laws, regulation should be there. So what happens whenever there is a technology, the laws and regulations comes much later. Till that time, a damage is occurred already. So here, what we can do, we can anticipate the rules, regulations in advance. So at least few regulations which can create a more bigger damage to the world. Those regulations or laws must be in place. So these things are very, very important. And on the top of that, I would rather say that we are working on a technology which was evolved 10 years back by the hacker. Still that we have not adopted blockchain technology or cryptocurrency that was much, much ahead invented, right? And here we are sitting at, we don't know what is the current technology they are using and what is the future technology they would be using it. Although we have some amount of intelligence onto the dark web or the things, but still I foresee that the technologies must much more advanced than this one. Anyway, so what we can have, what we have, we need to protect that one, right, with the intelligences, but we should have a much deeper insight to it. Okay, thank you.
Srinivas, your take on the same?
Yeah, actually, Yogesh has pointed very important aspects. To start with, the identity theft. It is very easy to impersonate the people in the metaverse area, because everything goes on the avatar here in the AR and VR areas. So here, first of all, to protect from the identity theft, so one thing, a kind of biometric security wall has to be created to the users who are using it. So in this biometrics, again, when we see biometrics, these thumb impressions and other things are getting compromised. So here we have to go in an advanced way in the biometric lock area. where iris and then facial recognition kind of things have to be embedded in this technology. So if at all anyone creates a spoofed avatar also, it should not be able to replicate the original user. So this kind of biometric security has to be embedded in this metaverse to start with. Again, here virtual combats, because so here the real person will not be there, but with avatar he can be spoofed as the real person there. So this kind of virtual combats might be there. There we have to create a personal boundary kind of thing for the avatar of the user, which is fully secured. And this personal boundary should be opened only when the trusted people comes there. So that kind of security has to be there for these virtual combats. Then coming to the next point, because as he rightly mentioned, now the blockchain is there as part of this Web 3.0, and also the artificial intelligence and the distributed ledger technology based on this blockchain. So here, blockchain-based technology has to be brought in for the users also. Then sensitive data becomes vulnerable in this environment as cyber criminals target the digital identities and commercial transactions. So the blockchain, though it is a decentralized network, data will be stored in one specific location where, but the authenticity will be there in the distributed areas. So this is one area where we have to concentrate, where blockchain has to be there for the personal identity also. Then is, as he mentioned, the government regulations have to be there, and we know that because of this bureaucratic approach, regulations from the government side will be very delayed, late. So the platforms, the providers who are providing the metaverse and this related technologies, they should protect the data and also the personal privacy of the people and identity theft kind of things. And last but not least, the education, the cybersecurity education is very, very important for the users who are going to use the Web 3.0 or the metaverse. So the every time when we are discussing about the cybersecurity, the first and foremost thing comes is the education and awareness among the users. So here that cybersecurity education in this newly developed metaverse and also the Web 3.0 comes into the forefront, and people have to be taught about what are the problems and what are the issues they are going to face if they are not implementing the required privacy guidelines and also the cyber security measures in their systems. This is my take. Thank you.
Thanks, Srinivas. So, Ambarish, difficult question, but we spoke about AI, ML, we spoke about blockchain, we spoke about risk assessment, data discovery, and identity theft, and other aspects also. So, what else? What all other technologies apart from what we have spoken about can be there, which can help us, mitigate those future risks, stay protected, and stay resilient?
Yeah, I think I'll not repeat what fellow panelists have said. They all said very relevant points. It is overwhelming to hear all of them. So see, today we talk about, I was reading somewhere, cryptocurrency being used by more than 500 million people today, more than that. And around close to 40,000 organizations are accepting cryptocurrency, entire world. So this all technology we are talking about is going to come sooner or later. But see, if we talk about traditionally also, we're not seeing the problem with the technology as such, right? We've seen the implementation of the technology has created a problem. That's why I think Subhash was talking about right thing is look at how it is going to be implemented, architecture, right? And those elements. And then I personally love how zero trust is maturing, because I think someone is talking about user behavior and how fast we are able to the core engine of the zero trust, right? Who is a decision maker, who has the data about the user, data about the device, latest vulnerability, and then he is based on the current status of the user and the device, he is taking a decision whether he has to be granted access or not. If at all this guy has to be granted access, what level of access? So the more it is intelligent, and if people are talking about AML technology are maturing, it's able to reduce the false positive. That is how the zero trust adoption will increase. Okay. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, I also love to see how the entire this XDR SOC element is maturing in this Web 3.0 and Metaverse scenario. Correct. Today we have got, and how the threat feed, etc., are going to converse, going to frame. Right now we can just forecast. Okay. Third thing is the cyber criminals, hackers are motivated to breach something. Correct. And I think they must be gearing for this also. As I think Panellists was saying that they are more intelligent. They may not be intelligent, but they are more resourceful. They are directional. They know they have to do certain things. They are very motivated, well funded. Okay, and so that's why they are able to breach. And people talk about probably they are able to breach a certain platform, not other platform, because there is adoption of that platform. Okay, and if the adoption of platform is more across the world, they would get more motivated to break that. Okay, they take it as a challenge. From the guidance, maybe from my point of view, as I spoke, I think Srinivasa also talked about awareness is the key. It is going to play a key role. Okay, let us focus on our core principle of cyber security, people, process, and technology, defense in depth, security by design. Application security going to stay there. Okay, we are going to develop application no matter which platform it is going to run. But if you are taking care of application security, DevSecOps, etc., it is going to play a key role. So we need to look at the overall ecosystem, and naturally the industry itself, academia, a lot of products, etc., everything going to mature over a period of time and react to it. Okay, and that is, and whole piece of, I think Yogesh was talking about governance, regulatory body, right? This is going to be framed accordingly. Right now we are struggling with the privacy. This is the another base to solve. Yeah. So I think those are my thoughts. Thank you.
Thanks, Ambarish. So I think I'm done with my questions, but before we wrap up the panel, I would like to ask you all for just a quick 30-second closing remarks on, how you see Web 3.0 Metaverse, and your closing comments on what people should do and where you see it going. So I'll start with you, Ashok.
Yeah, so basically the technology is fine, and the technologists who are using the technology, they must accept the change. So it is good to accept the change, and the hygiene level which we generally maintain, we have to keep that maintained, and whatever comes in the way, we have to handle that, and we have to go forward with the new technology and new age.
Thanks, Ashok. Moving on to you, Yogesh. What's your take on it?
Or I missed the question, sorry.
Okay, so I was just saying your closing comments on, what people should do, what you think about Web 3.0 and Metaverse.
I would say that there are technologies, both sides are there, good or bad. So we have to explore really those technologies. Without exploring those technologies, we won't be able to go ahead with the technology and advance ourselves. For example, cybersecurity has gone to a very bad extent that now people think that they should use the earlier technology, means go to the bank and draw the money instead of doing it, transact it over this. But anyhow, as per our lifestyle is, we can't afford that. We have to go ahead and we have to embrace the technology as well as accept the bad part of it. So similarly in the metaverse technology, so everybody is excited to create their own avatar and have you can say he will be just like forever there. So that is very excited, and they can create their own ways, right? Move around here and there, right? But at the same point of time, identity crisis may come. So as Muppaneni sir said, so when we say clone, or the earlier government banned that cloning, but with this metaverse technology, there will be lakhs of clones, so moving around here and there. So it may be difficult to control at that point of time. That's why I emphasized on the regulations, that some of the regulations is definitely required onto that. Otherwise, we will be lost. How many Yogesh will be roaming around and while whether meeting Subhash or Mitali, I don't know. So that should be fairly controlled anyway. Right. Thank you.
Thanks, Yogesh. And on a
Yeah,
lighter note,
so-
I think, if we have so many clones, I think it will help us maintain that work-life balance, and we'll have many of our clones working for that security threads, working
Both.
on that SOC. So that would become easier on the lighter note.
Right.
Subhash,
Yeah, so-
I would actually move on to you because I know you have a hard stop.
yeah.
So
So
what's your
anyways,
take?
Yeah. So first point is that everybody has to embrace the new technology. And another thing is there is no other option available. Correct? Yogesh has said something that the people will go to bank and take the money. That is a lighter note, I know. But please note, this is a one-way traffic for all technologies. Because if you say that, we'll take this example. If you say that we'll not go on Web 3.0, we'll be on Web 2.0. Believe me, 2.0 will be more vulnerable than 3.0 after 5 years, 6 years. Because on that, you will not get any patches. You will not get, nobody will work on that. You will not get any security solution also to work on that. So it is only a one way that we have to embrace the technology. Parallelly, we have to work. What are the defensive technologies available? What are the ways to defend them? That is the only way we have to do. So everybody has to embrace new technology, and we have to work parallelly on the other side. That is our job. So we have to work on both sides, and it is must. Thank you.
Thanks, Subhash. And I think very, very good point there. It's like, you have to move on and you have to go to Web 3.0. Otherwise, it's more like, staying on Windows XP and without any support and having it vulnerable.
Correct.
So it's similar to that. So I'll move on to you, Srinivas. What's your 30-second take?
Yeah, as our earlier experts told, there is no option. We have to move on to the Web 3.0 and also this metaverse world. And because of these, people are going to create a lot of data. And 5G is also coming out, and a lot of information is being put there. The quality of the information is coming down. So which information is required, which information should be stored, which information that I can use. This is one challenge that we are going to face during this 3.0 and metaverse world. Again, one more thing, because of this artificial intelligence and machine learning, now the bots have come, and they are understanding by the behavior of the people, and they are creating the data, and they are deciding they are coming out with the decisions. So their data manipulation is one of the challenges that we are going to face, and it will be a huge cybersecurity issue, because that ultimate desired results can be prepared, and I can say the manifested through the malwares or through the misinformation that is being provided to these bots and artificial intelligence machines. So here we have to be very, very cautious. And one more point is now 3.0 is not in a single server or not at a single location, and it is available in bits and pieces everywhere. So availability of the networks, availability of the information is going to be very critical in this 3.0. So their security, data confidentiality, data quality, and data manipulation, these are the areas where we need to be very, very cautious in this one. That's from my end.
Thanks, Srinivas. Moving on to you, Ambarish, your last take on.
So I think fellow panelists says everything, but only 2-3 quick points. We need to embrace this technology. So we need to read more about it, explore this technology more, understand how this will be used across the world, and be ready for it. Stick to your basics. You will be ready for any technology. Let it come on our way. And look at zero trust holistically and plan for it. Thank you.
Thank Ambarish. So I would like to thank each one of you for giving all your insights. I think it was a very insightful session. Yes, Web 3.0 and Metaverse, they are here to stay, just like ransomware attacks are here to stay. And what we need to do is we need to conduct a risk assessment of our landscape, identify the data set where our data is residing, and we need to ensure that we have our mitigating controls or the defenses in place which can mitigate all of these risks. Now, what technologies we use, whether it is AI, ML, zero trust, blockchain, we can use any of them, but it's more like we need to stay secure. We need to ensure we are resilient. And in a way, I always say our employees, whom we consider sometimes as the weakest link in the chain, they can be the strongest link in the chain as well if we keep them trained, if we keep them aware of what needs to be done so that they can be protected from social engineering, phishing, all of those attacks. So thanks everyone for your time. It has been a very interesting session and a very learning experience for me. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.